Yo guys, it's me Fishman. Bem-vindos a mais um episódio de The Council. Vamos dar-lhe já assim um jogo onde temos opções e vários caminhos diferentes para seguir.
How many times must I tell you?
Recapitular o capítulo anterior.
You must never put your life on the line
então não.
for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Não,
Without
Riquet.
your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet,
Damn.
I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Pronto, e é esse o recap, assim, muito rápido. Então este jogo é um jogo de opções em que a gente escolhe, tipo, as falas e os caminhos. Temos habilidades a desenvolver e a evoluir, e essas habilidades dão-nos mais opções que nos dão força. Basicamente ficamos empowered. Quanto mais experiência temos, quanto mais pontos temos em cenas diferentes. Ou podemos optar por escolher melhorar muito certas habilidades, aqui nos talentos, eu posso no character, por acaso só me faltam estas duas. Ou então, por outro lado, podemos optar por melhorar mais uma área e ao menos sermos bué da bons naquela área e fracos no resto. Eu estou a tentar melhorar, obviamente, temos três jogos, eu escolhi ser detetive, que basicamente se foca nessas opções, e estou a tentar melhorar mais estas três do que de resto, mas gosto de ter ao menos aqui estas opções também desbloqueadas. Simplesmente vão gastar mais pontos, porque isto é um sistema bacana, a gente tem uns pontos para utilizar estas opções. Bom, então, deixem-me lá controlar aqui Politics e Diversion, para ver se eu tenho alguma coisa agora para evoluir. Logic, Etiquette, Psychology, Erudition. Logic, Etiquette, Erudition e Psychology. Logic, Etiquette, Erudition e Psychology. Logic, Etiquette, Erudition e Psychology. Psychology é tudo aqui. Logic. Etiqueta é este. Ok, vamos para Logic, que é as nossas cenas principais. Onde é que está? É este. Não. Logic. Ok, vamos equipar. Estes já estão masters, estes livros, porque cada vez que passamos uma parte, são 5 capítulos este jogo, estamos no segundo capítulo. O primeiro capítulo foram 4 partes, acho que agora os restantes são 3 partes. E a gente pode evoluir um ponto de habilidade gratuitamente sem gastar experiência utilizando estes itens que vamos apanhando. Bom, está feito o recap. Basicamente a gente, para explicar melhor agora o que eles disseram, a gente veio para uma ilha à procura da nossa mãe. Nós fazemos parte de uma organização secreta, da Golden Compass, da Golden qualquer coisa, Council, da Golden qualquer merda. E a nossa mãe era a chefe disso. A nossa mãe veio aqui a uma ilha com uma mansão enorme e desapareceu. Basicamente tem aqui muitas celebridades ou figuras ilustres da política desta altura, como o Presidente dos Estados Unidos, o Napoleão Bonaparte e cardeais de religiosos e não sei o quê. E basicamente parece-me que cada um representa uma facção ou uma sociedade secreta ou sociedade poderosa, pelo menos. E a nossa mãe, pelos vistos, também estava cheia da power. Bom, vamos lá continuar a história. A gente veio procurar a nossa mãe e ela desapareceu. Estamos a conhecer aqui, a tentar descobrir cenas para saber o que é que se passa com ela. Supostamente ela não morreu, mas no fim do capítulo houve alguém que morreu e nós fomos acusados de matar essa pessoa, que era tipo aquela maluca que tinha o cabelo rapado de lado, que é também filha de alguém importante, do conselheiro do Presidente dos Estados Unidos, algo do género. Bom, agora acabou o capítulo a sermos acusados de virem-nos buscar ao nosso quarto, porque temos morto essa rapariga. Que obviamente não fomos nós. Mas nós estivemos com ela nessa noite. Não a fazer essas coisas que vocês pensam. Simplesmente ela... As malucas são as melhores, é o que dizem, mas não fomos nós. Vamos lá ver agora o que é que acontece. Temos que nos defender, com a certeza. Se calhar começamos na prisão só, porque não? Uou, tão fixe. Isto para o tribunal, né?
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But an act of horrific violence occurred during the night, and I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
If there's a possible link to my mother, I hope you'll let me know.
In the early hours of the morning, Elizabeth Adams was found dead in her room, savagely mutilated with a knife. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yes, last night we, Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
Duchess Hillsborough and I were returning to our rooms when Elizabeth came up to us. She was in a state of panic and insisted that she needed to speak to me. She said she feared for her life. I took my leave of the Duchess and followed Elizabeth to her room.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
About my mother. She had just found out that I was Sarah de Richet's son. Elizabeth wanted to tell me about the horrors my mother apparently inflicted on her.
Finding out that your own parents had always lied to you. Well, that must not have been an easy thing to hear.
Nope.
But do go on.
I refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be
So
done.
happy.
And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Sim.
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Ok, finalmente conhecemos esta personagem. Vamos lá ver onde é que ele está. Não és tu. És tu mesmo. Mortimer William. Lord William Alexander Mortimer, Marquis of the Westfordshire and peer of Great Britain, is an extremely rich English aristocrat, as discreet as he is influential. An investor of talent, Mortimer succeeded in business was masterful. He finished by withdrawing from the public arena and isolating himself more and more often on his private islands. A major patron of the arts, he finances a large number of artists in diverse fields and takes great pleasure in bringing together unexpected personalities. He does the same with the greats of this world, men of influence and men of state of the time. Regularly organized social gatherings on his private island off the coast of England. Ok. Realmente conhecemos-o. Basicamente ele é alguém muito com muito poder. Pronto, era só isso.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Zeiss. Erva. Sui. Eibus, Einas, eu queria escrever anos. Ok, não faço a menor das ideias. Vamos vasculhar aqui estas cenas, encontrar itens. Nice, golden elixir.
Hey,
Uma
a
coin.
Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
Damn, bottle of spit. Temos que cuspir. Ok, nós temos que ir investigar então aquilo. Vamos falar com o cardeal a ver se ele tem tipo alguma noção de alguma coisa. Devil Storm.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm
boobity.
trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has
Shit.
to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was
Perguntei a
hanging
mesma
around
cena.
her
É
room
bocado
like
estúpido
that?
não haver uma
Well, I
forma de
wouldn't be
passar as falas.
surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember
realmente.
how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Ok, vamos lá investigar. Isto está cheio. Será que conseguimos buscar aqui o grande salão? Sim, para encontrar um livro. Tomas!
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Ah, estás aqui, sacana. Será que tem mais alguma informação para me dar?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
Não!
I'm listening, Louis.
What the fuck?
I'll be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
LOL. Vim falar consigo sobre o que eu descobri. Então, diz-me lá. Ainda não descobri nada.
Which four-letter word could open this
Tive
chest?
uma ideia. Porquê? Porque eu vi aqui esta estátua. E parecia-me Zeus. Parecia-me um deus. E de facto... era. Hã? Tenho grandes capacidades. Ok, vamos lá investigar então as cenas. Podemos ir ao quarto de toda a gente. Há quartos aos quais ainda não fomos. Ainda nem sequer entramos. A gente só entrou aqui... Não, acho que a gente nem chegou a entrar no quarto do Bonaparte. Temos mais quartos aqui por este lado, portanto vamos começar por aqui. Não, isto parece que não é um quarto.
Sir Johann van Vulner.
Então supostamente não tinha autorização para entrar em todos os quartos. Porque é que não consigo entrar naquele quarto?
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
He looks very put out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Parece muito suspeito. Não sei se deveria ter ido primeiro ao quarto, ver se encontrava alguma informação. Okay, o quarto está todo tipo trachado, mas já estava tudo partido antes. Eu não sei se há maneira de passar as falas. Ao menos não vi nenhum botão que indicasse como é que se passa as falas. A gente pode ver isto no menu também, né? Não é aqui o menu. É aqui. Options, Controls. Não. Se há, eles nunca disseram. Bom, temos aqui uma série de cenas.
My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing.
Ok, isto aqui eu já me lembro. O relógio marca a hora em que isto aconteceu.
Clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. The blade is short and thin, well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand. Knocked over bottle of wine. Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting.
Será que alguém teve a beber com ela?
I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Por que é que eu recebi ali um penalty?
Poor girl bled to death.
Ui, tantas. Foi o GP Gang.
Where that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Ok, foi o cheiro da garrafa que me deu um penalty. Eu tinha que confirmar se isto era o álcool lá mesmo. A probabilidade era grande, né? Mas... Ok, o Peru, ou Peru, ou lá como a casa chama, não é o suspeito principal, porque supostamente quem agarrou a faca tinha uma mão delicada, portanto digo mulher, ou alguém magro, ou alguém velho. Os franceses estão fora da questão.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood, if the scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
What? Coitada.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Essas parecem auto-infligidas.
Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts. She had the sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age, unless her mother was a tutor. Symbol of Masons? What's that doing here? Ancient Greek. Let's see what it means. These are sacred chants intended to protect their bearer. But from whom? Or from what?
Isto parece mais trabalho religioso.
Scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
Damn.
What a strange smell. Her breath smells of alcohol and of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain. She bled from the nose.
Será que ela morreu antes?
There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Pois, será que ela morreu envenenada?
blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. This pinnacle is a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle. There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body. Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Melhor se calhar analisamos a faca. Temos também aqui uma mancha de sangue no...
The blood spatter indicates that the murder must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Será que foi o trabalho de 2 pessoas? Eu começo a pensar isso.
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Este produto é tipo uma anestesia. Será que estavam a tentar fazer alguma coisa a ela e ela acordou porque estava bêbada, então o laudanum não funcionou corretamente?
Pentagram. What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil.
Uau, descobri uma vulnerabilidade de uma pessoa morta. Vai-me servir de caraças.
Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Não. Senão o sangue estava aqui, sócio.
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out. It looks like a mixture of medieval Latin and Anglo-Norman. It is difficult to make sense of this jerky writing. I can make out some passages, though. He's coming. The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
Yep. Just as I said. É a nossa mãe.
June 11th.
Ok, são as cartas, já lemos tudo. Sim, temos aqui uma pistola.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner. Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear. Color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and
Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Ok, o que me está a querer parecer é que alguém veio aqui. A nossa mãe veio aqui falar com ela estava transtornada, mas apareceu mais alguém. E esse mais alguém é que é capaz de ter feito mais alguma coisa. E a arma basicamente ficou aqui porque estava a servir como ameaça. Basicamente, a Elizabeth acabou por morrer.
Has Sir finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Mas, portanto, a rapariga foi morta por mão delicada. Agora, eu não estou a perceber se... E está aqui uma arma da Revolução Francesa. Eu suspeito, se calhar, que o Peruta estivesse a trabalhar com a nossa mãe. E que vieram ambos matar aqui a rapariga. Não sei. Este corte é de quem? De George Washington. Do you have anything for me? Qual é que é o Golden Elixir? É o segundo.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as
Your friend
planned.
William. William era o pai da
I have a
Elizabeth.
project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together.
Foi assim que começou
I
os
look forward
Illuminati.
to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Ah, shit. Isso é das poucas coisas que eu não tenho ainda habilidade para fazer. Ai,
Carmelite water.
fezada.
They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Hã? Eu posso beber isto antes?
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. Portrait of George Washington.
Oh. Mr. Washington, may we talk?
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what you were doing last night so that I can strike your name off the list?
I spent the night right here, reading.
All night?
Exactly.
Emily stopped by in the middle of the night. You can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Ok, menos sabemos que ela teve para ali.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
Just like
More
me.
likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Ok, então
Yes.
o laudanum não
She
estava ali
came
a
to
ser
ask me for
utilizado
some.
para
She had finished her reserve, I believe.
como uma anestesia. Basicamente ela estava a tomar para as dores de cabeça.
Do you take it
É
regularly,
aspirina.
Mr. President?
Benuron.
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
It's just for that, then.
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened, and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Ok, desprezo. Só me estás a desmarcar, né, sócio? Eu não me lembro de ter visto nenhuma pegada. Bem, que sou lixo, mas havia lá uma, aparentemente. Mas ele não usa botas. Portanto, não era dele. Eu não devia poder investigar todas as portas?
That's me.
Ok, vou investigar o meu próprio quarto. Sim, até deveria investigar, sei lá se estão-me a querer tipo incriminar.
Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice. King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. T.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds, painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband.
grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language and all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there, from what I can tell.
Duchess, you can inform King George of your father's backing. We shall assist you with financing the recruitment of regiments of immigrant royalists to fight against France. His Eminence Giuseppe Piaggi.
2 coils circle the lock.
Dear Gregory, thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer. It will be more difficult to approach him. Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous. As for Sarah de Richet, what more is there to say? You already know each other. She was apparently invited by Lord Mortimer about an ongoing matter in Paris that concerns a receiver in stolen art. See you soon. Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Carmelite water.
Dear Gregory.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
O que é aquela bosta? Ah, ok. É um buff. É um bufo. Alright, então eu disse que tinha apanhado tudo.
What can I do for you, Louis?
You can
I've come to
strip
see you
naked.
about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Bem, ela não curte muito lógica. Certo? Deixa-me ver se eu me lembro. É aqui. E ela é imune à lógica, portanto...
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times. No doubt she suffered greatly.
9 times? What monster is capable of such a horrible thing?
Parece surpresa.
Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
No. Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You'll You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
Então ia responder à minha pergunta.
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish
Oh
the alibis
shit.
for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Eu carreguei no
Don't
de
take it
baixo,
the
eu
wrong
tenho a
way.
certeza.
I
O
must
meu rato estava
consider
sobre
every
lá essa cena.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to
Mas
be
ela é
sure
muito
of my
evasiva, ela acaba por não
activities,
responder.
you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with
Mas
Elizabeth.
porquê é que ela não está a responder? Será que eu estou a falar com a irmã dela e não com ela? Mas a irmã dela não levou um tiro, eu não tive aquela visão.
But I
Então
will
é que é
find the
confuso,
murderer.
mas pronto.
I owe Elizabeth that, at least. Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet.
Não devia
Still
estar a
searching.
espalhar tanta informação para ela.
That said, since a blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
Porque eu tenho quase certeza que não foi
You
ela.
think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender
Não sei
hand,
que ela seja a irmã dela.
probably that of a woman.
Isto é muito
Do
confuso.
you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject. I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Não vou dizer que sei das cartas, que andei a buscar tudo. Mas vamos ver que é estralhoso. E de facto temos... Golden Elixir. O que isto faz? E o facto de termos que encontrarmos lá um bocado de si também pode ser um pouco mau. No sentido em que só nos enterra mais a dizer que tipo que foi a nossa mãe. Pelo menos que a nossa mãe está relacionada com isso. A nossa mãe parece uma beca BDS, portanto ela deve estar relacionada com tudo. Bem, de quem é este quarto? Napoleon, mon ami, comment
The
vas-tu?
Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur. Hannibal crossing the Alps, another military success. Why do I get nothing but visions of horror in my room, and he gets victory after victory? There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, I would like to ask you to join us in January on my island to participate in the High Society meeting.
Ok, isto é só o convite do boss.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, 2 great army chiefs. French actor Talma as Nero in Britannicus. The last amber crystals. A pound. It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles. bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
My dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if they targeted us soon. Make haste, my son. You hold our destiny in your hands. Your love.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all. Except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Excuse me for insisting, but if you saw him or her, I'm sure you would have more information than that. It's just that you don't think it can be of help to me.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Was it a woman, for instance? Bearing in mind that all the women here wear whalebone dresses, which is rather noticeable.
A man, I should say. I don't recall seeing the silhouette of a dress.
You see, you saw many things, in fact.
Hang on. Laissez-moi réfléchir. Let me think a minute.
A wig? His height? The sound of his footsteps, maybe.
Ah, his height. Oui, somewhat imposing. A tall man, and straight. As for the rest, I don't know, Monsieur de Richet.
Not to worry. That's already quite a lot. Thank you for everything.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Qual é que é o que... Nunca decoro os itens. É o 2.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
Qual é que é o... Nunca uso muito o 3. Tenho que usar. Este é o corte de quem? Do Peru? Ah, motherfucker.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
Será que ele trabalha com a nossa mãe?
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. Two days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, de Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Why?
Nothing. Get away from me.
Just as soon as you stop treating me like I'm an idiot. If you wanted people to think you were guilty, you couldn't have done any better. So cut the bullshit and come clean now.
I can't! He'll come for revenge.
Who?
No one! Just shut your trap, goddammit! Yes, I was there. Yes, I walked in her blood. You've got all you need to wrap it up. Now scram!
Shit. Estás aí como muito culpado. Eu deveria ter investigado o quarto. Eu acho que ele estava envolvido de qualquer forma, mas não sei se ele foi o mesmo culpado.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
I believe I've identified the murderer.
Really, Louis? All right then. Please think carefully before you give me your answer. This is a very, very serious accusation.
Não há uma opção para dizer que é os dois?
It would appear that Monsieur Peru is the culprit.
What proof do you have against him?
I found a footprint in the victim's blood. The size corresponds to a very tall man.
That's certainly suspicious.
He hit her before yesterday evening. His Eminence Piaggi can testify to that fact.
Ah, very interesting. Anything else?
His weapon was in Elizabeth's room, which proves he was present at the scene of the crime.
I see. What else?
Não é nada, sócio.
I believe there's enough here to prove his guilt.
Very well. I'll share your conclusion with Gregory, and then I shall take care of everything from now on. Given the eminent guests and the important political issues involved, I trust you will leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
I'd like to answer the cat, but unfortunately I'm increasingly worried that she's in fact the mouse.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities and yours in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far. Yet he told me that you had spoken and that you hadn't been able to reach an understanding.
That's putting it mildly. Monsieur Bonaparte is one of those guys who only understands people who think like he does.
Ah, I see what you mean. He is indeed rather inflexible when it comes to certain subjects. But I am still of the opinion that you can manage to get along.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Isn't Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me, I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference,
would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother had trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jersey, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the Third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age.
Indeed.
Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite
Miss
lucky
Camille,
to
an
have her as a
motherfucker.
model, Louis.
Yes, I know. But I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
I see. I might be about to find a trace of her passage. Sorry, Mother, but I don't want him on my back. You'll have to take the blame for me.
I can't see how Sarah could have done this, but then I can't think of any other solution either.
I'll take a closer look.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very nice. Arigatou gozaimasu.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Go to the tower room. Mas como é que eu vou para essa bosta? Será que é essa porta aqui à frente já? Probably.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Sangue.
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Será que quem estava com ela era precisamente o gajo que a gente acabou de acusar, o
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
What is this disc?
Leva só isso, sócio. É de borla.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Caravaggio.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ
Out of breath.
and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles.
Sócio, não te creio nada. You must find the safer way to communicate. Someone trusted my faith in the man with the sword.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Picklocking?
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. We'll see if it works. It's open.
Yep, no it is.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
E a Picklock 7, meu Deus. Quer dizer... Só charutos.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Reni.
Oh shit. Não queria ter utilizado isto.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the
só a cena
frame.
daí, caraças.
Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
Será que algum dos quadros que estão lá atrás...
The New Testament. This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. This volume dates from the first edition of Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible. A volume of the Gutenberg Bible. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Como não estamos a ler isto tudo? Não. 11. Nós estamos à procura do 11.
Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
Não, acho que não é nada disto.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Está atrás daquele quadro, caraças.
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Temos que ir àquele ali. 1 to the... Fogo.
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank.
À esquerda e 3 à direita. Ok. Então tá. À esquerda e 3 à direita.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by
À
Guido
esquerda e 3 à direita. Estão aqui 4.
Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Sócio, mas tens que vir aí mesmo.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, count in the dust. All right, let's do it. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
O que isso tem a ver com o resto, caraças?
Spoke about Hebrew 8. No, nothing of value here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. It says, count in the dust. All right, let's do it.
Shit. Count in the dust. Não temos mais nada aqui, caraças.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Está tudo preto, é por causa da cinza, da carta. Sei lá. Estou a perceber o que é que tenho que fazer agora.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn.
I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of two.
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle, that was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John.
Não estou a perceber o que é que tenho que fazer.
Several portraits of apostles.
Quase aposto que as coisas estão aqui escondidas debaixo, mas...
Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Amber crystals. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be... There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Sócio, eu já sei isso. Eu estou preso. Eu não sei o que é que tenho que fazer.
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So
Ok, então isto encaminha-nos para o gajo da espada. O gajo da espada encaminha-nos para o apóstolo mais novo. O apóstolo mais novo... Presumo que nos encaminhasse para aqueles quadros que estão ali montuados. Mas é estúpido se a gente tiver que escolher as opções corretas. Agora também estou preso nesta sala.
Something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Ne?
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each
Só se eu
group
criar a cena de
will join the
baixo.
first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean? A group of pilgrims, if I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
12, 14, 6, 7. Vamos lá ver o que é que diz aqui no livro. 12, 14, 6, 7, nada. 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 12, 14, 6, 7, também nada. 12, 14, 6, 7. 6, 7.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded?
Ah, look. Here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them.
And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
Não percebo o que é que ele queria dizer. Vamos procurar o 12, 14 à mesma.
Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Ok, o que é que diz o pó aqui nesta porra?
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust.
8.
8 in all. That's what the message in Hebrew spoke about. Hebrew 8.
Ok, vamos ver todas as cenas que têm 8. Nada. 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 Nada.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? Clearly, she must be trying to do something useful, but what? The nightmare. Does that remind me of anything? It probably has to do with an object or something. Granting that this is the case, where might it be found? It was a study. I'm practically sure of it. Yes, it's the painting that was behind Mortimer's study. Well, let's see if Mortimer has anything to hide behind his painting. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Aight, mate. Could have found the conversation between my mother and her partner. Quase aposto que o outro gajo é que era o parceiro da nossa mãe e a gente acabou de lixar. O mau acho que é o Volsner, que é o alemão, aquele de barba branca. Bom, whatever. Não é alemão. Pronto, aquele gajo da barba branca. O gajo parece-me... Dá para ver... Não, não dá para ver, tem que ser no journal. Ok, está a pensar no que é que vou evoluir. No entanto, porque é que não dá? Dá para ver aqui os livros. Tenho mais alguns livros. Linguistics, Manipulation... Acho que vou evoluir aqui o Logic e vou já dar aqui uma cena em para evoluir depois. Aqui. Presa desbloqueada, a Tragic Fate. Foi Manipulation que eu dei? Não, Diversion. Diversion. Ticket, Diversion. Ih, já tenho as páginas disto.
This time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
What up, man?
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Fuck you, my man. Queria ver lá atrás do quadro. Somente eu não me lembrava onde é que estava o quadro.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look,
she dead.
I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
Must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Ela é... Acho que ela não é vulnerável à manipulação.
They kept up a secret correspondence, which makes me think they were suspicious of someone.
And did you find out who it was?
No, but von Wollner is mentioned. They were planning to make a quick getaway and were looking to hide something beforehand.
Have you got these messages?
Shit.
Yes. Go ahead, take a look.
I see. I must say, thanks for your honesty, Louis.
Should I speak
Can I
to her about my vision?
motorboat you now?
If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Não sei, mas por este lado a gente vê melhor as maminhas dela. Por este lado não vemos. Portanto, always go for boobs.
Emily, there's something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening. Well, thanks for not trying to hide it.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book, so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
Why would she do that?
I don't know, Louis, but I'll find out. You can count on that.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
Thank you, Louis. But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
There must be an explanation, Emily.
That's what we shall see.
Só se eu tinha que escolher, no primeiro episódio tive que escolher entre ir com esta para o quarto dela, estava vestida com um decote, ou ir para o quarto da outra maluca, que já estava tocada e de pijama. Onde é que está a maior probabilidade de haver gigri-gigri?
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Come now, my friends.
Relaxem a teta, por favor.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined. What? The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if...
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
If I remember rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us. Sad news, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Eu acho que a voz deste gajo é a mesma voz de um canal de YouTube que eu sigo, que é o Kazangergast. Não sei bem o nome de dizer aquilo. Mas é sobre ciência e é muito bacana. Ok, deixem-me analisar aqui o... Já temos todas as personagens reveladas. Manuel Godoy. Secretary of State and Head of the Spanish Government. Head of the Spanish Government. É o gajo que faz os bicos ao pessoal do governo espanhol. A favorite of King Charles IV of Spain, Godoy rapidly climbed the political ranks. Lover of Queen Marie-Louise Bourbon of Parma, he attracted the envy of Spanish princes. As Secretary of State, he developed and strengthened the Spanish colonial empire, especially in the Americas. A close friend of Louis XVI, King of France, he worked hard for the king's liberation, but in vain. This served to fuel his resentment of the Republican government of France. Invited by Sir Gregory home, Godoy arrived at Lord Mortimer's manor with the firm intention of calming the expansionist desire of the United States of America on their continent. Ok, parece que há aqui algumas fações, se bem que algumas não estão bem definidas, mas basicamente há a fação que defende o poder régio e a ordem de acordo com o que já está estabelecido, e depois temos os franceses, o Peru, que fez com que o rei de França fosse decapitado, e viu-se depois o Bonaparte e o... como é que ele se chama? O dono desta merda. E o Mortimer a fazerem assim, a buscarem um olho, como quem diz, olha, já dá a dar planos. Basicamente ele ia financiar, o Mortimer ia financiar o Bonaparte para destituírem o rei. Provavelmente os gajos querem meter ali o cheirinho. É bom quando a gente, tipo, vamos quebrar com o estabelecido, que isto está muito a mal, mas tipo, para irem para lá gajos assim, bem, não sei se vale a pena. Bom,
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
Isto ainda não tenho bem definido.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Ok, deixem-me ver aqui que informação é que eu tenho dele. Está aqui. Diversion. Como é que é o símbolo do diversion? Shit, é aquele que eu era para aprender e não aprendi. Que é a ganda bosta. É o que tem ali aquelas setas. Era este.
We found traces of her that would indicate she's still on the island.
Her personal belongings?
Yes, but nothing of great interest. Scraps of food, some clothes.
Ah, I see. Well, too bad. I shan't keep you, Monsieur de Richet.
All right then. Thank you.
I hope that your search will prove successful and
What
bring
the
Sarah
fuck? Eu não tenho mesmo
I
sentido.
must go now. I'll see you later.
Quer dizer, se eu deveria ter feito diversion nele, provavelmente não lhe devia ter contado a verdade. Mas pronto, isto só me indica que ele não é gente boa.
You better go and check out the painting in Lord Mortimer's study. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest. There's no space left. I'll retrieve it later. Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia.
Ok, onde é que eu estou aqui a nível do mapa? Ok, será que dá para ir para aquela... falar com o Sr. Napoleão.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
Mais oui, pourquoi non? Je sais pas.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
À plus tard.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Devia ter utilizado o 3. Eu ainda não estou bem habituado aos itens, eu tenho que utilizá-los mais. Era aqui que eu queria ver? Não, não era aqui que eu queria ver. Eu quero explorar ali. Não dá. Então era mesmo ali que eu queria ir. Ainda não estou bem ciente das intenções das personagens. Obviamente quando chegarmos ao fim do jogo já vamos perceber uma coisa, uma segunda run do jogo, obviamente que já tira o mistério. Era engraçado que o jogo desse para voltar a repetir, mas já com tudo o que tínhamos desbloqueado. Tentámos ter uma personagem já, tipo um gajo experiente, não é? Tipo um noob. Era bastante engraçado. Espero que dê.
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see. Everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Ok, só não percebo se o Washington, sendo defensor de democracia, a opinião do
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
I wonder what promise Lord Mortimer could have made to make him agree to come here, given the circumstances.
Who knows?
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend.
Para onde é que é a cena dele? Ok, eu gostava de ir Bonaparte, Peru. Vamos tentar ir ao quarto do Peru.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Não dá, não dá. Não dá para viver. Olá, como é, dama?
What do you want, Louis?
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you believe it, the Queen of Spain.
Ganda campeão.
I doubt that Lord Mortimer invited him for his charm.
Gostava de política também.
Emily, what can you tell me about the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organize this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most influential people from the dominant nations of the modern world, they allow the mighty to discuss matters with calm clarity. There are precedents of armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of brandy makes things easier. You'll see. You're leaving me?
Unfortunately, I have things to do. Thank you again, madam.
Tchau, fofinha.
So, what did my mother mean by
Oh,
going
shit.
beyond the nightmare?
Tenho uma chave. Papagaio.
No, what have we got here?
Well, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Comum, cara.
Let's take a closer look. Dark chocolate beans. Very bitter. They're greatly prized in high society.
Dear Mr. Guido Poletti, I'm writing with regard of dates of the paintings that I sent you for your temporary exhibition. Please note that they are part of my private collection and are dated according to the Crimson calendar AL. News at the time. As you may well have guessed, you must remember to subtract 4,000 years if you don't want the public to be surprised at the dating of the works. No need to remind you that the Crimson year AL begins in March, not January. About the Longinus painting, I took the liberty to have the spear touch up so it better corresponds to the actual spear. Cannot urge yours to... Ele faz falsificações? Counts for the year. Food, candles... Foda-se. Sim, ok, não havia eletricidade, gastavas muito dinheiro em velas. Mas vamos tirar uma cereja também. Vamos fazer um Moncherry. Foi assim que o Moncherry nasceu.
Might come in handy. A family ancestor, apparently. A myna bird.
Well, Waldo, is your master good?
Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah?
Well, Waldo, is your master good?
I don't really know what I was expecting. Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah? What? Repeat that, Waldo. Sarah? What about Sarah? Good God, what's been happening here?
Whoa.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost. It's a book on the history of the Crusades. I don't think it has any connection with my research. It looks like a war painting. It's dated. Le Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere. No, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. As if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes.
Shit.
Aha, I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A
Ne?
ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Tinha ali uma data, 1700 e... Posso tentar essa data. Um 792. Estou a tentar esta data.
It's a complex mechanism. Looks like the third ring is a bit seized up. It gets stuck on number 9. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Mas qual é que ficava preso no número 9?
It's a complex mechanism. Looks like the third ring is a bit seized up. It gets stuck on number 9.
792. 792, mas não.
No, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Hey, there are 2 dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL. This painting isn't finished. It looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but we can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period.
Okay.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. That's a funny date.
5000. 5190. Ok, acho que é este. Agora temos que subtrair 2000 ou 4000. Subtrair 4000 years. 4000. Vamos subtrair 4000.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis,
1190, ok, talvez seja isso.
5190. It's a funny
1190.
date. Doesn't work, damn it. I really thought I was close. 1190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4000? I must have missed a subtlety.
Ok. Começa em março só. Estava lá a dizer que para não esquecermos que não começava em janeiro, começava em março.
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Mortimer.
Man Cave. My dear Lord Mortimer, I regret to inform you that it will soon be impossible to ignore pressure from the Russians. The Tsarina Catherine has every intention of supporting the Count of Provence and will recognize him as the regent of the Kingdom of France. Once King Louis has disappeared from the political stage, I'm sorry to announce bad news, but expect dark times ahead. Ok. É Illuminati isto, totalmente.
A fine-looking map of the Orient, indeed.
É a cena dos... A rota do chá. Sir, your plans to intervene in Belgium are to go ahead and set down. I am to occupy the Prussian army. Your delivery of cannons to Valmy has ensured our victory. As agreed, I have notified the King of Prussia of the invasion plans of Custine and the Army of the North. Jon Snow, go! I will keep the Austrians out of Belgium. I am to quickly return to Paris as I sense the fate of our King Louis is about to be decided in Norway and it is impossible for me not to intervene. Should you have any missives to give to me, I invite you to go by as per usual, our friend Monsieur Perru. Our friend, sincerely yours. Ok. Sim, o Peru também não significa que o Peru seja bom. Devil's Thorn, o que é que faz Devil's Thorn mesmo?
It's locked.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a friend of China, rest assured that you will be rewarded for your information. You need not worry about any scheming against us from Great Britain. This represents Mr. McCartney, Paul McCartney, the Beatles. Will leave with no hope of any arrangements involving us. Your friend Qianlong, Emperor of the Qiang Qing Dynasty. I am the king! Okay. William, whatever your project, it will seem that our father is against leaving you with a grip on Europe. Russia will soon commit itself to the coalition against your dear France. Don't think you can resist for long. I beseech you, William, not to persist. You are tearing our family apart. You're tearing me apart. Your loving brother, G. Whoa, como é G? P.S. I shall come to our conference, but you think that holding it at the present moment is... Ok, o irmão dele vem... Supostamente vem agora. Ah, não tenho políticas.
It shows the forces present in Europe. It's clear that France is surrounded by her enemies. However, a large number has been underlined in bold. 26 million. I know what it is. It's an estimation of my country's population. All our neighbors have far fewer inhabitants.
My dear friend, thank you. Oh, Portugal e Espanha. Thank you for your words. And I do understand your situation. I regret having to confront you militarily. But if the situation allows to declare war, then do what you think fit. Under your advisement and with a weary heart, I am off to meet up with the coalition that opposes you. I hope of serving you again, George, King of Hanover, King of the United Kingdom, Britain and Ireland. Spain and Portugal. Portugal! Que nação tão bonita, caralho! Já temos ali um monte de merdas. Vamos examinar tudo. My dear friend, as I have to go meet proposals. Be finding qualified colleagues, learn about ok. Ah! Será que estes são... Não, isto não pode ser os mesmos nomes que estavam na carta. Quantos nomes é que estão aqui? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Não, acho que a carta que o cardeal nos deu tinha mais nomes. My lord, I hope this will reach you. My hours are numbered. My printing house has been confiscated and I am imprisoned in the front of Schilsburg. If by chance you could intervene in my favor, I would eternally be in debt. St. Catherine should not be long in banning all golden order lodges from territory. Our zone has become considerably darker. Parece que ele está a tentar acabar com o Golden Order. Isso já é muita informação para estar a ler.
It shows the forces present in Africa. This is unexpected activity in this sector. It looks like there are also many unknowns, even for Mortimer.
O gajo está a tentar conquistar o mundo. É Illuminati.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore.
Okay, nice.
He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. The author isn't letting any ethical principles get in his way, is he?
The gift has been delivered. Será que é esta a gift que estávamos a falar? Não. Ok, estão a oferecer prendas. O gajo está a mover tipo bué favores. Isto é da América. Das América.
This shows the forces present in America.
Está a mover um monte de influências. Gostava de perceber para quê. Let us see if you have the courage to face me alone.
This is my mother's writing.
Era o que eu ia dizer. Será que é uma carta da nossa mãe?
What is she up to? Obviously she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is his stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from. Three rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long.
Lord Mortimer, the tiger is dying. On your demand, I have attacked Travancore and personally cut off the throats of as many Englishmen as possible, though without help from the French. I cannot hold them off much longer.
Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me. It is a typical draw on a line that answers a specific question. To the left, temperance, that announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the emperor evokes a future full of power and stability. Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. I didn't seem as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon. I'm more used to seeing cheap charms like this sold by charlatans in Pré Saint-Gervais. Something strange about this table. The Little Surgeon's Perfect Collection.
Será que isto é o equipamento para o... Será que a nossa mãe estava envolvida com ele e fazia as operações à miúda? Cadê isso? Science, imunociência.
Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever.
Né?
Strange. I don't recognize the alphabet. I wonder where the pictograms are from. It isn't Egyptian or Hebrew.
Que fonte é esta?
There are 2 inscriptions on the sides as well as on the top. No way to know what's underneath. Absolutely no idea what it's for, but I find this cue fascinating. Looks like obsidian or onyx. Must weigh a ton.
Quem é este Pokémon? É o Onix!
These are feathers. Pigeon, probably. A skeleton by the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by. Mortimer's given a name to his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid.
Lol. Dear friend, who is the most admirable of all the Olympians? None other than the king of the gods, of course. Unlike his father Kronos, he learned to make equal use of his strength and wisdom. Instead of fearing the power of his children and brothers, they accepted to share the world with them. Men fear his thunder and praise his justice. He reigns, but he doesn't dominate. Yeah, por isso é que o código dá bocadinho era Zeus.
That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. An iron mask. I wonder who it's for.
Dear Lord Mortimer, be assured of my entire devotion, as a breed of undead peasantry will soon rise up. My network is striving to increase the pressure on the masses. The decision of the assembly, which consists of voting the civil constitution of the cleric, is inflaming the region. The people overwhelmingly reject the priests and swear loyalty to the state. If you could ensure that the convention will administer the final blow to the people, the issue will be resolved. Without wishing to direct you, a forced recruitment for a faraway conflict will be a perfect way to arouse the people definitively. Your devoted servant François Antoine Charette de la Contrie. Oui, d'accord, oui, je comprends, mais je sais pas si je peux faire quelque chose. Temos aqui uma caixinha.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Key to the occult water symbol. Collector's coin. Collector's coin. Collector's coin. Collector's coin. Tantas? Collector's coin. Royal Jelly, deve ter sido a que eu apanhei aqui. Última cena, né? Yeah. My dearest friend, our plans are going ahead wonderfully well. The Coinage Act has been voted. Your project of funding the very first Bank of America should not be delayed. Hey, isto é Illuminati. It will probably be called the Union Bank. As for the construction of the White House, it is still died to begin in October. I will accept no delays. You can trust me on this. I hope you see you soon, Thomas Jefferson, Secretary of State.
A table of alchemical elements.
So, Lord Mortimer also studies alchemy? It seems like he's interested in everything.
Yes, he is. Because if you want to dominate the world, you need to do so. Okay. Okay.
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those. 3 rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long.
Go find your mother.
Oh, shit. How am I gonna get out of here now? It's locked.
Fogo. Ai, o caraças. É? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. Whoa, whoa. If the grid closes a bit more every time I enter a wrong date, I'd better not mess up again. I thought about the inversion of the numbers. That's not it. What am I missing here?
Oh, shit. Pistas, pistas.
Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. Something strange about this table. What kind of experiments does Mortimer carry out here? It's a dissection table. So Mortimer does autopsies. Here on his desert island. But who is he doing autopsies on then? A skeleton by the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by. Mortimer's given a name to his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid. An iron mask. I wonder who it's for.
Shit, tô mesmo à toa.
A table of alchemical elements.
Tenho que usar uma pista. São umas pistas da boa.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. The mechanism passes through the wall. The wheels are the same on both sides. Chances are the combination I used on the other side works on this side too. This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Oh shit. Pensei que tinha mais hipóteses. Tinha que inverter a cena, então provavelmente era metade dos valores. Era 5.
Wheels are stuck. Shit! I'm cornered like a rat.
Shit. Será que alguém nos vai libertar? Monsieur Peru.
Someone's coming. Please don't let it be Mortimer. Who is it?
Deliberately avoiding me. 4 years ago I was his favorite, but nowadays I have to ask for an audience with his lordship.
Damn it! It's Peru.
know if I should, but
Well, that's it. I've had enough of being humiliated.
I'm wasting my time here.
After everything I've done on his behalf, he dares treat me like a...
Fogo, eu devia ter... Eu não vi o tempo. É o 2.
Aqui!
Monsieur Peru! It's Monsieur de Riche! I've locked myself in behind the painting! Help me get out, please!
What are you playing at, goddammit?
There's a pedal under Lord Mortimer's desk. Can you see it?
There's no... Hang on. Yes.
Good. Now press it.
Yeah. Done.
You should see something resembling a frame with numbers. Yes? You have to turn them to set the combination. 1191.
Well. Poking our nose into Mortimer's little secrets, are we? You do surprise me.
It's not what you're thinking. I'll explain everything.
No, you will not, sir. It has nothing to do with me, and by the way, I never even saw you. So, I'll be on my way now.
Thanks again. You had me trapped. Why not say anything?
I would have wanted someone to open the door for me, too. And while it's too late for me, it may not be for you.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Pois, que ele não é o mau, nem nada. O cara está a trabalhar com a nossa mãe.
I've wasted enough time. I better get moving if I want to find my mother.
Ok. Então o que é que vamos evoluir? Obviamente vamos evoluir Quer dizer, eu preciso de política. Pelo menos assim já tenho estas opções todas. Vamos validar. Preso desbloqueada. The Nightmare. Vamos ver o que é que eu tenho preferência. Questioning, Vigilance e Agility. Questioning, Vigilance e Agility. Ok. Não tenho nada desbloqueado para isto. Questioning, Vigilance e Agility. Então nesse caso vamos tentar para Psychology. Eu posso equipar 2 agora? Posso equipar 3? Oh! Politics, Science, Logic, Vigilance, Questioning, Agility. Será que há bocadinho que podia equipar mais também? Eu nem reparei.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. Alright, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask them. We must absolutely inform Sir Gregory. How long has he been trying to collect all the spears?
I must have brought him the first one 20-odd years ago.
Do you know if he has managed to get the original?
Well, in any case, he's got all the ones we had at the Vatican. He made me replace them with copies. But I don't understand your reaction. I'm sure it is nothing serious.
Aha. I can see very well you do not understand. You have done nothing less than sign our death warrants, and still you don't understand.
Someone is listening.
What? Monsieur de Richet, why not join us rather than find yourself eavesdropping?
I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't. So, my son, what can we do for you?
I didn't mean to spy on you, but you caught my attention.
Vamos lá ver se eu tenho aqui informações dos talentos, das fraquezas deles. Diversion, ok. E onde é que está? Questioning.
I heard you speaking about Sir Gregory, and I wondered what it was about.
That is none of your business, monsieur.
Don't take it the wrong way, Louis. But you shouldn't be eavesdropping.
Please leave us, monsieur. His Eminence and I wish to finish our discussion alone.
Tá bem.
Leave us now.
Também tinha mais que fazer. Vou para o garagem, não quero ser meus amigos. Ok, provavelmente temos alguma coisa. Tem alguma coisa a ver com estátuas. Tentar obter a informação do gajo.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Could you perhaps help me?
What can I do for you, sir?
Where did this sword come from?
From the garden, sir. That sword belongs to one of the statues in the garden.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it, sir.
Será que posso ir diretamente?
Golden elixir. The sword probably came from this garden, but what could it have been used for? Golden elixir.
Não lembro o que é o... Não.
You again? God damn it, are you following me?
Wouldn't dream of it, sir.
What brings you here?
I'm not giving up. You see, I sense there's something hidden in this garden, and I intend to find out what it is.
You've got some balls, I'll give you that. Watch your back, though. There are no secrets here. If Lord Mortimer finds out you've been searching his island, he'll make you pay dearly.
Thanks for the advice. Are you gonna denounce me then?
What's the point in answering? You wouldn't believe me anyway. I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know. Be seeing ya.
Tell me, aren't you even curious?
Curiosity killed a cat, Monsieur de Richet. I admit, I may have judged you wrongly. Watching you seek out Mortimer's little secrets might even be amusing, if I didn't already know the consequences. See you later.
What scares you so much?
Don't mess with him, monsieur. If he offers his help, refuse it. Keep your freedom and get far away from here while you still can.
Favores, é os favorzinhos. O gajo é gangsta. Ok, tem aqui um fio.
Ariadne.
Ariadna
In
Grande,
Greek mythology,
a
she
cantora.
helped Theseus get through the labyrinth. Looks like there's a crack in the region of the heart. I guide the sword that will kill the monster. Let's see. What's going to happen if I've got it wrong?
Vai explodir. Se estiver errado, vais aqui tirar a porra da espada e utilizá-la no outro lado. Uno buco, más uno libreto. Vamos a explorar esta cosa para ver si tiene más cosas que podemos tener. Uy, quita una.
Icarus.
Don't fly too close to the sun, my friend.
The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity.
I pity the fool.
I am the innocent one, sacrificed for the sins of the father. Well, let's keep going. Asterion. It is rare to see him like this. In general, he's represented with the head of a bull, with the features of the Minotaur.
The famous son of Minos and Pasiphae.
This statue has a crack in it.
Oops.
The crack is thin and about as long as a finger. I should be able to thrust in my sword. Let's go. Minos. Son of Zeus and Europa. If I remember correctly, he was the king of Crete. Married to Pasiphae, he had many children, including the famous Ariadne, whom history remembers for her thread. Hey, there's a crack in that statue. His gesture sealed his fate. Theseus, son of Aegeus. He's the one who slayed the Minotaur. Wrongly positioned, I am the blind hero. I wasn't expecting an inscription like that. I wonder if Mother managed to solve this enigma. Daedalus. He's the architect of the labyrinth, and if I'm not mistaken, he's also the father of Icarus. I am the architect of my own demise.
Será que eu tenho que meter a espada no Minotauro?
Pasiphae, daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the queen of Crete.
She has no cracks. Deliverance alone suffices not to wash away my humiliation. Alright, well, let's continue anyways. I wonder what this kiosk is doing in the middle of the garden. Too cramped to be able to do much. Well, there must be something going on there. What is that? Looks like a sort of opening mechanism. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole
Então não posso
at the
errar,
fingers.
tenho que ir lá tirar a espada da
Pretty
gaja.
sure if I get it wrong, I'll
Eu não
get
estou a
pricked.
perceber o que é que. Não
Damn you,
estou a
Mortimer.
perceber pistas
Reminds me of
para
traps I
perceber onde é que
studied
tenho
in
que meter a
Egyptian
espada.
tombs. It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a
Só se eu queria uma
passageway.
análise tipo do que é que está a dizer na placa.
It's up to the just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities. Here's the famous Ariana's thread, thanks to which, if I remember rightly, Theseus avoided getting lost in the labyrinth. Ariadne. I'll try something else.
Só faz sentido se for para metê-la no Minotauro. Vamos examinar a placa do Minotauro.
Asterion.
Asterion was a son of Pasiphae and Minos, or rather the result of a curse put on Minos.
Minos was punished for betraying Poseidon. Of course, as strangely it often happens, it wasn't he who was punished, it was his wife. She had to mate with a bull, no less. From that union, Asterion was born, who everyone knows as the famous Minotaur. Rejected by Minos, he was shut up in the labyrinth so he could never leave. And, as if that wasn't bad enough, he died by the hand of a hero desperate to restore his reputation. Technically, Asterion is the victim of the story because he's described as a child cast out from birth. Born from an extramarital union because of the errors of his father, he was treated as an outcast all his life. And he died as innocently as he was born. A tragic story, as the Greeks knew how to do so well. This statue has a crack in it. Right. We'll soon see.
Eu não estou a perceber que tipo de pistas é que eu tenho, man.
Theseus. I seem to recall he took the decision to confront the Minotaur. He killed the beast, but if it weren't for Ariadne's help, he would have been trapped in that labyrinth forever. In short, yet another hero who wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Okay, I'm probably being a bit harsh. I mean, we do owe him the foundations of Athens. In other words, the Republic. Render therefore unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
Será que é ele como ele fez a origem da República?
I wonder if Mother managed to solve this enigma.
Não faria muito sentido espetarmos a espada nele. Se ele é o fundador. Porque eu nem estou a perceber o que é para fazer.
What's wrong? Either I'm imagining things or my hand was pricked. It had poison on it. My head. I feel hot.
Mysterion. Theseus. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso.
Tem uma racha no tronco. Bem, vamos tentar. Não estou mesmo a perceber. Já estou farto de gastar pontos. Bem, já que já estamos envenenados, não temos nada a perder.
Theseus.
Teseus. Eu não estou a perceber mesmo.
Let's try something else instead.
Jura? A sério?
Minos. The crack is in the region of the heart.
Wow. You fucked my heart. Só se vão meter espadas em todos, não estou mesmo a perceber o que é para fazer. Estou a perceber que há estas personagens todas, estão todas envolvidas em histórias. Oi, sangue! Se calhar a nossa mãe também não conseguiu isto à primeira. Então está com o período. Quer dizer, só um é que merece levar com a espada no coração, é isso? Bem, vamos eliminar aquilo. É este, né? Yeah, é o Shiro.
Ah!
Visão.
Again?
Não tínhamos uma desta há algum tempo.
can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out!
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days.
Limpa na manga, já. Tipo, que se foda.
Seaford, you're in there, Mother.
Epá, é que se for segundo a mitologia, o Minotauro é que levou com um monte de espadas.
Amber.
Então penso que podia ser para meter a espada no sítio dela. Agora, a nível de merecer, só conhecia mesmo a história do Minotauro e do Ícaro.
Bandages? Someone's been patching themselves up. Looks like my mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes.
Ela está com um coto. Mais uma morte.
Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
Washington. Ok, não falhei em nada, mas também havia ali coisas que eu podia ter conseguido fazer. Boa pouca experiência. Presa desbloqueada, Into the Lion's Eden. Ok, está feito mais um capítulo, lá está, às 3 horas por capítulo. Como eu referi e que eu acho que vai acontecer, coisa. Cada capítulo vai ter cerca de 3 horas. O primeiro capítulo teve 4 partes, estes agora são 5 capítulos, os do segundo para até ao último têm só 3 partes. A história é densa, mas eu pensei que queríamos saber mais da nossa mãe. Realmente andamos aqui uma beca a ganhar. Acho que consegui resolver quase todos os enigmas, tipo, bastante bem. Fazer deduções, principalmente aquele dos números. Foi muito prestável. Este aqui é que não percebi, não me deram nenhuma pista sobre o que fazer. Não me disseram que a espada era para meterem, se era para meterem quem merecia. Levar com uma espada no meio do peito, ou se era para meter a espada no seu devido lugar, whatever. Também não fez grande diferença. Se eu soubesse, tinha logo começado a meter as espadas em toda a gente, em vez de estar a gastar um monte de pontos. Se eu soubesse que aquilo só me ia dar um stack negativo, e eu gastei um monte de itens e de pontos. Bom, de qualquer maneira, espero que vocês estejam a curtir. Eu estou a curtir da Council. Vou continuar a jogar este jogo, também para acabar rapidinho, para começarmos logo em um novo gameplay. Mas pronto, eu curto jogos deste estilo, portanto, este possivelmente, eu não sei, mas como eu estava a dizer no início do vídeo, eu acho que seria muito engraçado se este jogo desse para voltar a jogar, mas com tudo como está, ou seja, todas as evoluções e todas as capacidades que nós desenvolvemos ao longo do jogo, se fizessem um destaque, tipo New Game Plus, como se desta vez fôssemos novamente à ilha, mas que afinal não fôssemos grandes noobs e já tivéssemos aqueles conhecimentos todos, tipo de política e tudo mais, e aí sim rende trocar de profissão ou de categoria, aquilo que escolhemos ao princípio, para conseguirmos aprender as outras habilidades mais depressa. Portanto, acho que era muito bacana conseguirmos fazer um segundo run, tendo acesso a todas as opções no custo mínimo. Acho que era muito bacana. Eu estou a curtir o jogo, portanto também gostava de saber a vossa opinião. Digam alguma coisa, tipo no Discord ou no YouTube, sobre o que é que acham deste game e onde é que acham que ele vai dar. Eu acho que isto não vai dar muita merda. Estou a ver ali que é conquista do mundo, os Illuminati, não sei o que, não sei o que mais. Pronto, está feito, está aqui. O próximo capítulo é The Conclave. Temos... Exato, 8, 9, 10. Este também só tem 3, este também só tem 3. Portanto, é isso. Se curtem do Fishman Channel, vão curtir deste gameplay, ajudem a divulgar a comunidade do Fishman e tipo, partilhem o vídeo e falem da comunidade do canal, tipo, para o pessoal que conhecem. E aí em baixo tem links também tipo para Discord, YouTubes e redes sociais, essas cenas todas. Portanto, vão lá e deem um follow para ajudarem a comunidade a crescer, ok? Dito isso, resta também pedir que façam tipo seguir e subscrever e essas cenas todas. Está bem? Mas eu já vi Fishman a crescer. Vamos sim, senhor. Por enquanto é tudo, pessoal. Fiquem bem. Tenham um grande gaming time. Portem-se bem. Fui. Obrigado por teres visto este vídeo no Fishman Channel. Tens aí mais 2 vídeos para explorar mais conteúdo no canal e uma bola para subscreveres o canal e te habilitares a ganhar keys para o Steam. Tens mais informação na descrição do vídeo, como links para as redes sociais e o link para o giveaway. Mais uma vez, obrigado e tenham um grande gaming time.